Hello, let's continue our Sudoku adventure with Partridge, Perched, Pearless by rockratzero. So we do have normal 6x6 Sudoku rules, meaning in every row, every column, and every 2x3 box, we are placing the digits 1 to 6 exactly once each. We also have these German whisper lines. The way these work is adjacent digits that are on the line have to have a difference of at least 3. So if this was a 2, we need to be at least 3 different from 2. So we can't do 1, 2, 3, or 4. Because those have a difference of 2 or less. We could do a 5 or a 6. And that's true of every pair of digits on these lines. In addition to that, we do have just this single black dot here. These two digits have a 1 to 2 ratio, meaning one's double the other. So if this was a 2, this could be 1, this 2 is double 1, or 4, because 4 is double 2. Not all the dots are necessarily given. If we have 2, 4 here, it could have been a black dot. There's not. That's perfectly fine. We can't that does not imply that this can't be 2, 4. All right, and that's it. Those are the rules. There's a link in the description if you'd like to try the puzzle yourself. And I'm going to get started right now. Okay, so German whisper lines, one of the nice ways to start is just to color them. So I'm going to use green and purple here. So what am I coloring though? So I'm going to color every other. And what I'm doing is I'm alternating low and high. Low being 1, 2, 3, high being 4, 5, 6, or the other way around. This could be high, this could be low. We don't know which is which, but what we do know is that we're alternating low and high because we need to, if a cell is 1, 2, 3, the one next to it, we can't subtract 3 from that. That would be 0 or less. We have to add at least 3 to it. And the lowest digit we can have is a 1, and adding at least 3 brings us to at least 4. So we completely leave the 1, 2, 3 range and we get into the 4, 5, 6 range. Then from 4, 5, 6, we can't add 3, we have to subtract, so we get back to the 1, 2, 3 range. That would still be true if this was high, we still have to go low and then high, right? So we're going to alternate. So we don't know what's low and high, but we do know that they alternate along this German whisper line. Oops, I did that wrong. Okay, so I'm going to do that first. Just make sure I get that right. Okay. So this is colored every other. We don't know what color this is yet, so I'm not going to color it. We don't know what's low and high yet, so I'm not going to do, not going to put in digits yet. But what we do know is that there are 3 lows and 3 highs in every row, column, and box, because 1, 2, 3 is low and 4, 5, 6 is high. So this row, for example, already has 3 greens, so the rest has to be purple. We already have 3 purples in this row, so the rest of the row has to be green. 3 greens in this row means that these have to all be purple. Okay, I know what's low high now, but let's just color what we can first, and then I'll explain why I know what's low high. We have 3 purples here, so these both have to be green. This box has 3 greens, so these 2 are going to be purple. 3 purples, so this is green. 3 greens, so this is purple. 3 greens in the box. 3 purples in the row, so that's green. And we may not be able to do this box yet. We will. We'll get there. Okay, so I have colored both of these purple. Now, one thing I will say is you cannot have 2 high digits on a black dot, right? If we start with 4, 5, 6, and we want to stay high, we have to double it. We'd end up at least 8, and 8 is too big for a 6x6. So these both have to be low. So we need 2 low digits. So these are both from 1, 2, 3, but they have to have a 1 to 2 ratio. 3 would only be able to go with 6. You can't half the 3. So this ends up being a 1, 2 pair. This is our 3. And now I do just for my, my habit, low, I like to make blue, and high, I like to make orange once I know what they are, because I'm just very much ingrained, and blue is low, orange is high, and it just lets me solve it a little faster. So that's what we're going to do here. There is another property of German whispers that we're probably going to have to use that I will talk about, but let's see what we can get out of this first. There's a 3 over here somewhere. This has to be a 3. This is a 1, 2. We know there's a 3 in one of these 2. We don't know anything about the highs, actually. So the German whisper is going to have to do that for us. Okay, so let's think about 3. This 3 here that we've placed on German whisper. What does this cell need to be? Well, we know it's high, right? Well, even just knowing this is 3, that forces this to be higher, because we can't subtract 3 or more, because we'd end up at 0 or less. So we have to add 3, and that gets us to 6 already. Just adding 3 gets us to 6. So what we've learned is that a 3 forces a 6. You also, in this similar way, a 4 would force a 1. So anywhere we have a 3 on the whisper line, we have to put a 6 next to it. That restricts where you can put 3s. So, and 4s. So for example, we can't put a 4 here, because if this was 4, then this digit, and this digit would all have to be 1s, and that breaks the column and the box. So this cannot be a 4. This has to be at least a 5. So this is 5 or 6, and that does put the 4 in one of these two. If this was 4, these would both be 1, and that actually seems reasonable. Okay. So let's continue to think about this German whisper line. We know this is 1 or 2. These are 4-5 pair. Either of these could be 4. Okay, that's kind of an interesting piece of logic here. So this is a 4-5 pair, meaning one of them is 4, and we know the 4 is going to be next to a 1. So if one of these two is 4, then one of these two at least must be 1 to be next to the 4. Well, if one of these two is a 1, this can't be a 1 because it makes both of these 2. So this has to be the 2, and that makes both of these a 1. That's our 2, that's our 2, that's our 1. Now, that doesn't mean that, well, that, it doesn't tell us where the 4 goes, because 1 is compatible with 4, 5, and 6. So, wait, that's our 2. This is a 1-3 pair. We know this isn't 4, so I'm going to put 5, 6 in there. Now, what else can I do? We know that one of these is a 3. If this was a 3, this would be 6. That seems reasonable. What else can I do here? There's a 2 up here. 6 down here somewhere. We know that the 4, this column needs a 4. Right, because the 4 was in one of these two. Because this couldn't be 4, right? So there's kind of a cascade, right? This couldn't be 4, so we put a 4 in one of these two, which makes this not a 4, which means 4 has to be in one of these two. Well, 4 is in one of these two, this certainly isn't a 4. So this has to be 5, which makes that a 4. This is 5 or 6. We have 4-5 pair down here. So this has to be the 6, actually. That's our 5. And then this is a 4-6 pair. 2 cannot be next to 4. So that's our 6, that's our 4. That gives us the 5 here. All right, this has to be a 4 just because the row needs a 4. This is a 2-3 pair, and this is a 5-6 pair. 3 could easily go a 6 there. Okay, this is a pair. We need a 3-6. So this 6 is not here. So this is our 6, this is our 3. For the column, that's 1 and 3. 3 is low, 6 is high. Ooh, we get a nice ice flurry in the corner there, replacing a 3. This is a 1-3 pair. This is a 4-6 pair. Okay, let's just write out what's left here. So we need 2-4-5 here, and we need 1-4-5 here. So there's definitely a 1 or a 2 down here, along with a 4 or a 5. What am I missing? 5 can't be next to 3. That's what I'm missing. Okay, so this has to be a 1, because 5 and 3 is that has a difference of 2. That's 1, that's 3, that's 2, that's 3. So this can't be the 1. So this is the high digit, meaning this has to be low. The only low available is 2. And now I have all 3 blues. So this is orange, this is blue. We're finished coloring. That makes that a 1. And 2 can't be next to 4. So that's our 5, that's our 4. We get 6, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4. We're done. So you may be wondering why this black dot was included. Well, if you remember from the start, the black dot told us what was low and high. If you only have German whispers, if you have no givens and only have German whispers in your puzzle, you cannot disambiguate. There will be 2 possible solutions, one with the lows and highs swapped. So what this black dot did for us, which it may have also been necessary to make it unique, I'm not sure. But what it definitely did for us is it told us that these had to be low. So that's why that's there. So you have to have either a given or an extra rule if you are using German whispers in your puzzle. Cool. Well, let me know how you did on this one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.